Elimination Chamber is on the horizon, and we now know who is going to be in the match. Stay tuned to find out. This is your Raw review. What's up, Maniacs? My name is Mex. I'm a wrestling fan, a wrestling enthusiast, a WrestleManiac, if you will. And today we are talking about Monday Night Raw. It was a bit of a come down from obviously the events of the Royal Rumble carrying into Raw last week. We still got a semi-decent show, some good wrestling matches on it, some bad segments on it, as per usual. You can expect that with Raw by now. So we're going to get into everything that happened this week on Raw, so stay tuned. And in case you didn't know, right here at WrestleManiac UK, I discuss everything that is WWE and AEW. So if this is anything that you're interested in, then make sure you hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit the notification bell as well, so you get notified each and every time I drop a new video. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's get into the Raw review. The show opened up with Adam Pearce in the middle of the ring. Haven't seen Adam Pearce on TV in the last couple of weeks, SmackDown or Raw. So good to see Adam Pearce back. And he said he's got a announcement to make, but he needs someone to make it with. I can't remember what exactly he said, but he basically introduced the returning Shane McMahon to Raw. So we haven't seen Shane McMahon since, the Raw Underground days of last summer. So Shane O'Mac back in the building. And the minute I heard, Shane O'Mac was back, when it was announced by Adam Pearce, all of a sudden my ears pricked up and, what are they doing here? Let's hear this. So Shane O'Mac obviously gave Adam Pearce a lot of credit. He said, my colleague here is doing a brilliant job running the shows and all that kind of stuff. But obviously we're on the road to Elimination Chamber, and we are going to have an Elimination Chamber match for the WWE Championship. The WWE Championship will be defended inside the chamber. And they announced who the competitors are going to be. So, of course, it's going to be the champion, Drew McIntyre, and he will be defending it against Randy Orton, Jeff Hardy, AJ Styles, The Miz, and Sheamus, all former WWE champions. That was the criteria, I guess, to enter into the match. So, big announcement. Shane McMahon saying, great idea, Adam Pearce. Brilliant idea. I love it. You're doing such great work. This is all your idea and it's brilliant, as he left the ring. Clearly handing the smoke completely over to Adam Pearce. He doesn't want anything to do with it. We did see as well later on with Shane McMahon leaving the building, Drew McIntyre, those two have history. Was saying, I could have done with the heads up and stuff. Shane McMahon basically gassed him and said, look, you're the fighting champion. There's no better place to show you're a fighting champion than this kind of setting, this kind of arena. So Drew McIntyre said, oh, yeah, whatever. Shane McMahon was done for the night, gone. Like inside the first 5 to 10 minutes of the show, that was him done. We never saw him again on the night. Adam Pearce still in the ring. AJ Styles actually came down as Shane McMahon was leaving the arena. And we had AJ Styles, obviously with Omos, cross paths with Shane McMahon a little bit. Omos and Shane McMahon pretended like they didn't know each other, although back then in Raw Underground times, Omos was Jordan, the bouncer, and him and Shane are best friends, but not anymore. So we had AJ Styles basically say how he's going to become a 3-time WWE champion and head into WrestleMania with the belt out the back of Elimination Chamber. And he was basically teasing his upcoming match that he had on the night with Jeff Hardy. So those two obviously Elimination Chamber competitors going up against each other. And this match, we got straight into it, and it was a decent match, nothing special. I don't think either of these particular men, AJ Styles or Jeff Hardy, is going to walk out the chamber with the belt. We'll get into a bit of predictions on that in a bit, but yeah, I just don't think it's going to be either one of these guys. This match was what it was. Jeff Hardy was selling a leg injury to his left leg, knee injury for the majority of the match, and that helped in the ending where AJ Styles locked in a calf crusher off the back of a missed swanton bomb, and Jeff Hardy tapped out. So AJ Styles again picking up momentum. You know, he picked up momentum going into Royal Rumble and didn't do much really. So a nice win here as he gets ready for the Elimination Chamber. But I don't think he is one of the front runners. Definitely not in my opinion anyway, in my book. Next up on the show, we had a tag match, New Day versus T-Bar and Slapjack. We had the returning Kofi Kingston thrown into this feud, this ongoing feud that's been Xavier Woods versus Retribution. Now he's got his brother back to back the cause. And this was a pretty good match, you know. Slapjack, I can't even remember his regular name now. Shane Thorne, yeah. Shane Thorne and Dijakovic as T-Bar, obviously brilliant wrestlers. The New Day, brilliant wrestlers. So, of course, we actually got, you know, a really good match here. We had Mustafa Ali, who was on commentary, basically berating WWE, berating New Day, going as far as actually berating Retribution as well and saying, you know, beat these guys up, put them away, stop playing with them. I got you this opportunity. He was really, really intense. Some may say he took away from the match, but Mustafa Ali is doing everything he can right now to get Retribution over. The guy is working overtime, honestly. I just really wish they just called quits. Like, I would prefer if the Retribution guys just turn on Mustafa Ali to just end Retribution, and yeah, like we just do something like that, and then maybe Mustafa Ali can just have some disillusioned character. He's disillusioned with the company. It probably would be something very similar to what Sami Zayn's doing on SmackDown. But yeah, and then we just let these guys, you know, just become their regular selves again. But because yeah, Retribution's it's not working, and they didn't work on the night. New Day got the win, putting away Slapjack with the Daybreak finisher, double team finisher. Mustafa Ali jumped straight off commentary into the ring with Slapjack, Mace, and T-Bar. Again, continue to berate them. Look at the opportunity I got you, and you guys have blown it. So, yeah, harsh words by the leader there, Mustafa Ali. We move on to Charlotte Flair versus Lacey Evans. Before this match actually happened, we had Ric Flair come out with Lacey Evans, and Ric Flair was stating what exactly their relationship is, that he's just passing on his wisdom to Lacey Evans. Lacey Evans said, yeah, Ric Flair's cute and everything, but why wouldn't I want to learn from such an established guy, such a knowledgeable person? Charlotte Flair then came out, and Charlotte Flair said, you know, you're ruining your legacy, Dad, and you know, I don't mind if that's what you want to go and do with yourself, but don't bring me down with you whilst I'm trying to add to all of our legacies, sort of thing. From there, we saw Lacey Evans kind of have a cheap shot, against Charlotte Flair, and that kind of began their match. Decent match. Yeah, man, I'm overdoing it. It was less than decent. It wasn't very good. Now that I think about it, we had a lot of kind of miscommunications. I wouldn't say botches, as you know, per se, but it was a lot of miscommunication when one person went to do a move and someone wasn't ready. We saw a part in when I think Charlotte was charging towards Lacey Evans, who she had Irish whipped into the corner, and then all of a sudden just stopped, and then it's like, whose turn was it to lay the punch or something? Then like Lacey Evans slapped her. Just a lot of little things like that, which made the match a bit kind of, you know, bitty, if you like. And then in the end, Charlotte Flair kind of just told her dad, watch what I'm going to do to Lacey Evans. She kind of lost it a bit. Lacey Evans was in the corner. She just continued to pummel her in the corner, and the referee disqualified Charlotte Flair for not, you know, getting out at the 5 count. So now it was actually announced during their promo segment by Lacey, if she did beat Charlotte Flair, she would get a chance at Asuka for the Raw Women's Championship. Charlotte lost on the night by disqualification. So at Elimination Chamber, we are getting Lacey Evans versus Asuka for the Raw Women's Championship. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Yeah, it's a typical kind of B pay-per-view championship match, you know, but yeah, well, I guess we will see. But yeah, it wasn't my favorite segment at all. Probably the worst segment on the night, if I'm completely honest. Right. Next up, we had Edge come out, And Edge has obviously been touring all of the WWE brands in the last couple of weeks. Edge said the same kind of stuff that he said on SmackDown before Roman Reigns came and interrupted him. This time it was Miz that came and interrupted him, and obviously Miz was with Morrison and Angel Garza, who was supposed to take on Damian Priest after this segment. Edge literally turned it up a notch. You know, Miz came out and was giving the all, you know, well, after if you go to win, then I'm going to cash in with the briefcase, this, that, and the other. And Edge turned it up a notch. He said, look, this is the difference between me and you. I'm thinking, but I'm not saying what I'm thinking. And that Miz, you're saying everything you're thinking so people can plan for it. You know, all you want to do is you're saying that you want to cash in. I need to win the WWE Championship. You know, he really took it up a level. This was a really good segment. Especially, you know, like I say, the dialogue. Edge has been absolutely killing it with these promos. And I can't lie, every time I see him on the screen, a little part of me thinks like, you know, I want to see new young guys be given an opportunity, this, that, and the other. But when he comes and dishes a promo like this and really makes you care about the WWE Championship and everything around it, you think this is why they're bringing the likes of these guys back, because some of the other guys aren't they're not bringing it like this. Let's be honest, they're not bringing it like this at all. So yeah, Edge walks out, gives Miz something to think about, and then we get into Damian Priest versus Garza. Damian Priest obviously escorted to the ring by Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny is really in this WWE thing, you know. It's funny to see, but here he is, and Angel Garza and Damian Priest, two great wrestlers, have a bit of a decent match. It didn't last long. Bad Bunny again went and stole the Money in the Bank briefcase like he did last week, threw it into the ring. When John Morrison got into the ring to collect it, the referee threw Morrison and Miz out of the arena, out of the match. And then we saw Damian Priest hit a bell clap on Angel Garza, and then what's his finisher called? He hit the bell clap, and then my head's gone blank. Was it a Reckoning? I think his finisher's called the Reckoning. I know that's the Retribution Mia Yim, but yeah, I think it's called a Reckoning, and he got the pin. So 2 for 2 for Damian Priest anyway. He moves on, probably heading towards a WrestleMania match, tagging with Bad Bunny against Miz and Morrison. That's also been touted a lot. It is what it is. Good spot for Damian Priest. You know, Miz is a big name in the WWE. We can't, you know, pretend he's not. And obviously, Bad Bunny is just a big name internationally for his music. So, yeah, happy Damian Priest is getting this kind of spotlight. So quickly into his Raw career. Right. So we had a Bianca Belair promo backstage, but before we get into that, guys, if you're enjoying today's review, please make sure you smash the like button, give us a thumbs up. It's thoroughly appreciated each and every time when you do that. Right, hit it on this channel. It does loads for the channel as well, helps more people to see the videos that I'm putting out here. So please, if you haven't, smash the like button. Thank you very much. Bianca Belair backstage with Charlie, again selling the fact she won the Royal Rumble and she's got a lot of decisions to make in terms of who her opponent is going to be at the Royal Rumble. And then we saw Asuka come out, and Asuka said that, you know, congratulations for winning the Royal Rumble, but you're not ready for Asuka. And I thought, okay, bit of fight talk. Bianca Belair basically took her side in a way. Well, not took her side so much, but basically said, you know, you've got Lacey Evans to deal with. Lacey Evans isn't ready for Asuka. And if you come out of Elimination Chamber with the title still, then, you know, you might be seeing me more on Raw. So, yeah, little segment for Bianca Belair in the back just to kind of state her intentions that she's got eyes on Asuka still. We move on to what was going on in the ring. Keith Lee versus Riddle. We haven't seen Keith Lee in weeks. Obviously, we heard that Mia Yim had COVID. It was never confirmed if Keith Lee did. And obviously, they're partners. They live together, I believe. So, yeah, good to see Keith Lee back anyway. I guess he's done isolating. And he had this match with Riddle. There was a bit of talk around the US Championship picture, number one contender, and opportunities for the US Championship before in a backstage promo between these two guys. And these two guys brought what, may be match of the night. Yeah, this was probably match of the night. Really, really good match between Riddle and Lee. I think we've seen them go in other promotions in the past, but this is their first time meeting in WWE. Riddle really brought it. Keith Lee, mad strength and stuff. We had MVP that was on commentary putting him over as well, but on top of putting him over, he always put over Bobby Lashley. Like, Keith Lee is good, but Bobby Lashley's better. That kind of stuff. And in the end, we saw Keith Lee put away Riddle with a massive spirit bomb that he had tried to hit a couple times during the match, but Riddle had wriggled out of it, but not this time. Put him away with a spirit bomb. And there was a show of respect between the two guys after the match, but didn't last long. Bobby Lashley came running down the entranceway into the ring, pushed Keith Lee into Riddle, knocked over Riddle, attacked Bobby Lashley, put Riddle in a hurt lock, continued attacking Keith Lee on the outside, still steps to the head to Keith Lee. Bobby Lashley stood on top of the announcer's table with his US Championship, completely like no one can beat me for this. Like, he looks like a complete crazed man. Like, yeah, he looks really good. He looks really impressive. And it was also announced that we're going to get Bobby Lashley versus Riddle versus Keith Lee at Elimination Chamber for the US Championship. Should be a really, really good match. I wouldn't mind Bobby Lashley losing it. I mean, he looks super dominant right now. It doesn't look like he's going to lose it. But if he lost it to move on to, the WWE Championship picture, especially coming out of Elimination Chamber where we may have a new champion or something like that, I don't mind. But maybe, like I said before, I think they quite possibly could be building Bobby Lashley for Lesnar. Make him look like a complete beast, so that by the time he comes face to face with Lesnar, we believe that Bobby can do it. We believe that Bobby can get the win. So yeah, really good match, Keith Lee versus Riddle. Go and check that out if you haven't already. Next up on the night, we had Lana versus Nia Jax in a tables match. I guess this was somewhat gonna be like towards the conclusion of the feud they had late last year. Lana escorted down to the ring by her new tag partner Naomi, and obviously Nia Jax was with Shayna Baszler, her tag team partner. And this match was Nia Jax basically dominating Lana for long parts in this match. We got to a point where Lana delivered like I wouldn't say it was quite a Hurricane Runner, but she was in a Hurricane Runner position, bent over the top rope, pulled Nia Jax out onto the apron. Nia Jax tried to give her a leg drop on the apron. Lana moved, so she obviously just sat on the apron, as hard as the apron is, as we're always told. She got up, said, my back. And I'm pretty sure she said, my hole. I just leave you guys to ponder on that. My hole. I don't, yeah, Nia Jax, my hole. Okay, so as she was holding her back and selling her injuries, Lana ran up behind her, pushed her into a table that was standing against the barricade. The table broke. Lana wins the tables match. This is quite possibly the most pathetic way to win a tables match I have ever seen. But if you think about it, with Lana going against Nia Jax, it's kind of realistic. How else would she have won it? You see what I mean? So, yeah, Nia Jax was taken to the back to have some medical attention. Lana and Naomi were celebrating in the ring when Shayna Baszler got into the ring and laid an attack. So after this little, maybe it was a commercial segment, we had Naomi versus Shayna Baszler. Great to see Naomi back in the ring doing what she does best. She looks great. She's still as athletic as ever. Shayna Baszler did dominate her for large parts in this match, doing that kind of elbow stomp she does, put her in a Kirifuda clutch as well. Shayna Baszler, in her ascendancy in the match, left the ring to go and attack Lana, came back into the ring and basically got rolled up by Naomi, and Naomi got the win. So Naomi and Lana both picking up wins. They picked up a win last week to become number one contenders for the Women's Tag Championships. So yeah, both of them looking pretty good. And we go into the final match of the night. It was Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton, a match we have seen so many times over maybe the last 6 months. However, I'll give it to these guys. You know, they still find a way to deliver. Two of the best wrestlers in WWE on WWE Raw right now, just in terms of giving you a solid match, you know, a solid wrestling match. And they still find like kind of new ways to do things. Yeah, it was a really good match because we've seen it kind of so many times. I won't kind of go through it beat for beat, but towards the finish, what we did see was Sheamus come out. Sheamus looked like he was trying to give a brogue kick to Drew McIntyre, missed Drew McIntyre, got Randy Orton. McIntyre came back and hit Sheamus with a Claymore. And yeah, the match was done because obviously Sheamus's involvement meant that it was a disqualification. So yeah, the match ended there. Kind of underwhelming, but everything that happened beforehand, you know, in terms of the in-ring action was pretty decent, stuff you would expect from these two guys. So just talking about Elimination Chamber and talking about the main event of Raw, I would expect the winner of Elimination Chamber to either be Drew McIntyre retaining, a possible Sheamus win, or a possible Randy Orton win. Sheamus win because obviously the history between Drew McIntyre and Sheamus, and this probably was supposed to be some type of singles match for the WWE Championship because that's what Drew McIntyre said last week. But then a Randy Orton win because they may still be hoping to do Randy Orton versus Edge at WrestleMania for the WWE Championship. And I know last week they said that they were done with each other, but this is WWE. So I think those are the three front runners to win the Elimination Chamber match. You guys let me know what you think down below in the comments. But yeah, this was that was Raw. That was Raw. The finish of the main event wasn't great, but yeah, that's what I'm thinking we're gonna, you know, Elimination Chamber is gonna look like. Got a couple of matches on the Elimination Chamber card out of tonight's show, the actual WWE Championship match, the US Championship match, the women's title match. Let me know what you're looking forward to out of those three matches. Remember to give us a big thumbs up if you enjoyed today's review. And if you're new to the channel, welcome to the channel. Subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you get notified each and every time I drop a new video. WrestleManiac UK signing out, and I'll see you